Hey, Tony Gassins here, popping in. Now, still working on my office. Not done yet, but I'm at least could sit down in here. Now, I want to talk to you today because I've been noticing some things, and somebody asked me this question the other day and said, Tony, do you think this new song, WAP, is making women HOs? Loose booty 901, what have you. And I want to remind you about this because, see, a lot of times what I notice that a lot of women, most women do not notice, is that the music that you listening to, it plays a role in your life. You may not understand that, but when you listening to this music, the subconscious mind is so powerful because you hearing this stuff. And unless you directly refute it and you say, this is disgusting, this is ignorant, this is stupid, I cannot believe this, I am shocked and appalled, then your mind accepts it as a fact and your life starts to move towards it. You start to feel, you listen to the song, that's how you feeling. Like some Gatorade. You wet as some Gatorade. You thirsty, Aquafina. And then you thirsty. Like you need some Gatorade. And guess what? That's what starts to happen. And now think about this. When you talking to Bitter Betty. When you talking to Bitter Betty. And let me put on my little heating pad on my bike. It hurt my bike now. My bike tore it from the floor up. Now you talking to Bitter Betty, and she talking about all these men ain't no good and all of that. You may not realize it, but if you don't directly refute that, you will start to believe that. You will accept that as a fact. When you watching sitcoms, you literally can watch a sitcom, or you can listen to a radio show that you listen to on radio. You can hear somebody's story. I remember my mama told me she watched one of my videos where I read the people email. I'm going to start back reading them emails I be getting to inbox at TonyGassins.com. And she was like, Tony, I listened to that video and I had a dream. And she had a full long dream based on that email she heard. And I dreamed that your daddy cheated on me and this right here happened and that right there happened. And they're not even together. But because of what she heard. So that's what you have to realize. That this stuff that you dealing with music, the TV shows, when you watch these reality shows, and you see how these women may get over on these men, you see how these looks challenged men, you might see this looks challenged man who got some money. And then you see this woman that you know, without a shadow of a doubt, because you're a woman, you know that this man is not that woman type, and that woman is just with that man for his money. But then you see she got the life. Subconsciously, if you don't reject that, if you don't refute that, guess what? You're going to start looking for you a sugar daddy. You're going to be subconsciously evaluating men based on their money. Vice versa, same thing with men. When you looking across the aisle the other way and you looking for your wife. What men getting on here doing, they getting on here and you bumping into a message like mine and it sound like a simp. And it sound too submissive. It sound too forgiving. It sound too selfless instead of being selfish. And it sound like that, so then what you take and say is, oh man, I don't know. And then this other clown video will pop up and he telling you, you gotta control a woman. And the way you control a woman without putting your hand on her is this what you gotta do. And this how you get a woman to be crazy about you. This how you become irresistible to a woman. You gotta ignore her calls. I've never watched any of these videos, but I was a grown boy, so I know what these grown boys saying without even me ever looking at the video. I already know what they're telling you. I already know because I was a grown boy. They're grown boys. And so now, as a man, you'll sit there listen to that video and you telling yourself that you just listening to it for educational purposes. You telling yourself that you just listening to it just so you can kind of see what's out there, what people talking about. But the next thing you know, you'll be doing that. You will be doing that. I remember when I read the 48 Laws of Power. I ain't read the book, but I just Googled the 48 Laws. After reading them 48 Laws, I remember saying to myself, because there's a couple of them in there that was saying like, oh, steal other people's work and take credit for it. And I remember saying to myself, man, this is so evil. This is deceiving, this conniving. But that's what a lot of individuals in the industry, in the music industry and television industry and the entertainment industry, a lot of people use and live by them 48 Laws of Power. So that's why I read it, so that I'm up on it, so that when somebody doing it, I realize it. You know, and one of them was like, be short with people. Me, I'm not short with people. I write you a whole long paragraph, and then people hit you with that okay. You know why that okay? When you write that paragraph and somebody write okay, me and my wife got a rule: no one-word answers. If we do a one-word answer, it's a sign to the other person that something bothering us, that something bothering her, or something bothering me. Because my rule is no one-word answer. I don't say okay, I say okay, cool. See that? I say okay, cool. Because that okay, that yeah, that no, that yes, no, that ain't enough. That's a law of power. So, because one of the laws of power is like say less than necessary or something like that. So when I read that, I'm like, man, this stuff kind of conniving. But guess what? I end up finding myself at a few times in my life using a couple of them laws of power. And because some of them is, you know, not all of them is just the devil, but the body of work. If you put any devil in there, that let me know the devil in you, and that's where you operating from. Even though a couple things may seem like it's okay, or it's common sense, or it's not too harmful. I gotta forgive me, change my little back setting, because I'm gonna have to crank this thing up. I got my little tens unit, this little tens unit that I think it comes from Walgreens, but it's like, you know, the little pads on your back. And so, because they're talking, making my back hurt worse. I done moved my arm too much. And so here it is. I found myself a couple times using a couple of them laws of power. Just inadvertently, not even recognizing it. And that's when I started to realize the power of the mind and the stuff that you hear. If you're not addressing that, if you're not confronting that. So understand this. Don't put this nastiness in your spirit. These nasty songs that these people making, this is what you got to understand about this here. What you got to understand about these people is that the industry will take and pluck you up out of the abyss. They will pluck you up, pluck you off that pole. They'll pluck you off that pole, or they'll pluck you off the little challenge line, you know, and they'll play on your insecurities. Oh, this one right here, their teeth was crooked. This one right here was too tall, and it was too tall and felt awkward. This one right here was too short and felt insecure. This one right here was too heavy set and felt insecure. This one right here was too thin and felt frail and weak. This one right here was too dark. This one right here was too light. This one right here was lips too big, nose too big, eyes too far apart. See, what the adversary do? He plays on the individuals and he find their weakness and he thrust them into the limelight and he give them celebrity. But they in a position, but they not prepared. Majority of them. I ain't saying all of them. It's like, boy, I be having to spell stuff out. It's like I leave off one word. Oh, not all online dating relationships are bad. I know one person who had an amazing relationship and they met online. I'm like, I thought what's understood don't need to be explained. But back to what I'm saying. So they'll take and see, this is what I do. I look through the person. I don't look at the person that you see all down, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands worth of cosmetic work, thousands of dollars in makeup and hairdos, tummy tucks, nips and tucks, snips and clips and dips and hips. I don't look at all that. I look in, who was you before this here? Up. That nose had you insecure. Your eyes was too far apart. You ain't like your skin complexion. You felt like you was an Oreo. Just like the girl, it's the girl out there named Mulatto. Mulatto mean mixed, black and white, I think. But it's a lot of people that are mixed that had identity crisis. It's a lot of guys. It's a lot of these rappers who they were so socially awkward growing up that they never even really interact with women until they became famous. And then that's why they deal with adult film actresses and exotic dancers. That's why they put them on a pedestal and rap about them and date them, because they see that woman as an experimental play toy. That's why they don't deal with a woman in a different industry industry that has nothing to do with sleeping around. That's why I'm bringing it up to you now. So you get it up in your face. That's why they don't deal with nobody like that, because they're not sure of themselves. Got a little insecure about it, or it might be down there swinging like a baby arm, but just insecure mentally, emotionally. So they don't know, and so they'll deal with that. And then guess what? Because they dealing with these type of women, they then got to rap about these type of women, because they want to rap about their life. So then they rapping about their life, and then so here you are, an accountant, HR professional, customer service rep, window worker. Here you are, and you start to question yourself like, hey, well, do I need to put a thong on and get on Instagram with a thong? Because all the men with money is dealing with the women with the thong on. Now here you are, now you like, hey, do I need to do something strange for a piece of change? Do I need to go be a dancer? Do I need to get in me one of these adult films? Well, my goodness, I sure would not mind having the money Kim Kardashian got. Do I need to make a tape with my boyfriend and accidentally leak it and then spin on it and boy, look here, if I make me a tape, I'm gonna put on a show. Kim was playing around with that thing. I'm gonna put on a show, girl. So here you are, you sitting there, you questioning yourself. You about to leak your tape. You about to leak you and your boyfriend tape. You trying to let your iCloud get hacked at the Apple Store. You up there, well, yeah, this is my password. I just wrote it down just so you can help me out. You can hold on to it. You trying to let your iCloud get hacked so your little pictures could get out there. Because you questioning yourself now. Why? Because these artists have glorified sexual immorality, or they have objectified their body, and they trying to call it women's empowerment. Let me tell you this right here. Anything that you would not share with a 6-year-old girl is not women's empowerment. You ain't want to hear that? You ain't want to hear? Oh, what's on that? What? Of course I'm not going to talk to a 6-year-old about my WAP. No. Okay, then that's not empowering. Okay, that's not empowering. Because You don't even eat enough pineapples to be talking about no WAP. Thing out that tastes like turnip greens. Talking about a WAP. I can smell that through the video. Summer's Eve, honey pot, everything. That's not empowering. That is not empowering. That's your private, personal business. Nobody want to hear nothing about your leaky faucet. Because when the tide change and you cross 30 or you cross 35 and things ain't where it used to be and it ain't out there, now what you doing? Now you trying to find pills, you trying to go get a surgery, you in a doctor office because you feeling insecure because you ain't got no flood of water coming out up under the door when you laying in the bed. Now you feeling insecure. And what people don't realize is that a lot of these people, these artists, they just use as tools. They used as tools. This how they be. This how the executives be. Oh yeah, this is I mean, like, right now the world needs some WAP. Because I mean, look what we're going through with the whole pandemic and just like, I mean, this song right now will be such a breath of fresh air. And I'll tell you a play we're gonna do. I'll tell you a play what we're gonna do. We're gonna put Kylie in there. You know, anything they're in, it takes off. And guess what we're gonna have? Guess who we have an agreement to tweet about it? Viola Davis. Oh my goodness, this is so empowering. You got, okay, How to Get Away with a Murder star, Viola Davis. Then you got Kylie Jenner. So you're pulling in their audience. And then you have you, and you have her, and then you have her. This is just women's empowerment, next level. That's how they'll do. And then the artists be on there, this is a good time. You know, maybe George Floyd will appreciate this while he looking down. And he'll appreciate, like, this is a good time for this. You know, people die every day. And this is what they telling themselves. It's like, listen, we're trying to get enough masks. We're trying to get enough PPE for the health workers. We're waiting on the second stimulus check. We ain't got the next stimulus check. We don't want to hear about that. We don't want to hear about that. And it obviously ain't enough because ain't no man stand. All these men cheating. So now all these women walking here around talking about a WAP and man cheating. These men cheating. So what does that benefit you? What do that benefit you? And what is that about? Like, okay, at this time right now, rap about making money. Just rap about making money. Cause at least that's something that's can empower a woman. She could focus on her bag. But now women trying to do anything, taking all kind of pills. Yeah, they said this right here just help with the lubrication. Well, that girl. So what kind of pill that? Girl, is it omega-3 fatty acid, fish oil, black seed oil like Dr. Sebi said? Girl, let me get on that fish oil. And so now y'all around here drinking all kind of castor oil, fish oil, omega-3, worm bite, or WAP. You see what I'm saying? This stuff is not just music. This ain't music. This programming. This a diversion of attention. You're supposed to be worrying about how you gonna help make the statement of Black Lives Matter. How you gonna amplify that statement? That's what you're supposed to be worrying about right now. How you gonna amplify the statement? How you gonna express this, explain this to your niece, your nephew, your sons, your daughters? How you gonna bridge the gap? That's what you're gonna be worried about, but here go your distraction. While we on quarantine, let me get some more of y'all in the bed worrying about your WAP. Get some more of y'all in fornication, worrying about a WAP. creating soul ties, because this right here gonna have you lost. See, what you got to realize, see, man can't even articulate what they be doing, because the adversary, Satan, he not gonna spell it out to them what he doing with them. It take us on the spiritual side of things to see the ramifications of what the adversary putting into the airwaves through the television and through the music. So what's gonna happen is, what you see happening is, now you worrying about your walk. So now you on your bike. Now you worrying about your walk. Now you on your back. For those of y'all who don't understand my lingo. Now you're on your back. And now you're in fornication. So now you in fornication with your walk. Now you got a soul tie. Now that you got a soul tie, now you chasing this no good, sorry, stinking, musty man. So now you neglecting your bag. You neglecting your job. You neglecting your grind. Or, and not just or, you neglecting your kids. Because you worrying about your walk. So now you neglecting your kid. Or you neglecting your purpose if you ain't got kids. You neglecting your grind because you trying to compete. You want him to be in the text message with his homeboy. Boy, she got it, boy. That's what you focus on. So now, next thing you know, you busting wonders, you slicing tires, you bleaching clothes, because you so caught up in Loose Booty 901. So now you in a toxic situationship. Now your whole purpose derail. Your whole purpose derail. Now you bringing children into the world out of wedlock. Everybody today having a child before they get a ring. That's backwards. Everybody having a child before they get a ring. That's backwards. Get you a ring until death do you part. Then have a child. We done already messed up enough. Now you too old for this. It's too much technology. It's too many advancements for you to still be having children before you got a marriage. Before you got somebody that you gonna have to raise that child with you. It's too, we too advanced for that. For you still to be getting pregnant and you ain't married. So you don't know if this man gonna be here or not. And even if you get married, it ain't no full guarantee. Got to say that because somebody, well, there is a divorce rate. So even if you get married, that ain't no guarantee. Thank you, Bed the Differ Spirit, there go your cookie, for bringing that out. So, but at least it's the man saying, I'm going to sign this covenant under God or under this government, whichever one he believe in. I'm signing under God. Even though it's on government record that I'm married, I got married for God, not for the government, for the country. And so at least you got that. Then your childbearing hips could be of some use. But today, we got a lot of women using men as sperm donor, men using women as egg donor, and y'all just want to see your seed, but y'all don't have a plan of how y'all gonna effectively raise the child. And so now we got a competition of now we got co-parenting competitions. It's like that's a last resort. That co-parenting should not be the goal. Now the goal is who could be the best co-parents, who gonna create the best co-parenting situation. And we got co-parenting coaches on mymentor.life. I don't see if y'all can see what that spell, but that's a website that say mymentor.life, not .com, mymentor.life. We got co-parenting coaches on there if you need them. And so now it's a competition, a race to the co-parenting. So now you're seeing all these rappers picking them out of influencer and getting them pregnant, and then they having a child. They want to see what they seed look like. And then guess what? They perpetuating the cycle because that's being promoted to the general public. So now, Loose Booty 901, Miss Classy 813, both of them on their bike. Because they say, well, she the youngest billionaire and she had a baby before she got married. So if the youngest billionaire could do it, let me do it. And so these people that's in the limelight, they ain't caring about being a role model. They still trying to figure their life out. They still trying to get themselves together. They still they still putting their left shoe on their right foot. They still learning how to walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. So they ain't figured it out like the rest of us. But they in the limelight. And they being used by the powers that be. Because classiness don't sell. That's what they being told. Classiness don't sell. Empowerment doesn't sell. That's what they being told. So you got to be ratchet. You got to be raunchy. You got to be sexy, tantalizing. That's what they being told. So guess what? That's what they giving you. And then you, because you have not tapped into your purpose, you're bored. So now you use these influencers, these entertainers as your entertainment. But what you don't realize is it's not just entertainment, that it is grabbing hold of your spirit, and a anchor is being placed in your spirit, and you are being walked to destruction subconsciously, and you don't even realize that your illicit, toxic behavior, ill-advised behavior is coming from the music that you're listening to and the television that you're watching. And you don't even realize that if you change your input, it will change your output, and that will change your income. And when I mean income, I mean what's incoming to you. Incoming blessings, incoming money, incoming spouse, incoming opportunities, incoming friendships. When you change your input, it will change your output, and that will change your income. But you ain't think about that because you bored, you stressed, you frustrated. So you need a clown on VH1 or Bravo. You need you a clown that got on that show out of desperation because they needed a bag, because their career was going down. They were over the hump, almost washed up. The fast money that they were getting was about to be gone, and they needed a bag, so they got on the show to get paid. They get paid, they get rich again, but they really now will do whatever and say whatever for entertainment value because it's feeding their family. And you can't blame them because people will do anything to feed themselves and feed their family. You probably do the same thing if it was presented to you. It's a very select few people that won't do anything for money. That won't do anything for money. And it's a very select few. But most people, they gonna get on there and do what they got to do for money. And so now because you bored, this is what they doing. They your entertainment. But what you don't realize is while you think you using them for entertainment, Satan using them to influence your life. And you don't even recognize that now you passing up on a man that didn't buy you a Louis Vuitton in the first 6 months. He ain't good enough. Now you passing up on a man that don't drive a Range Rover or Mercedes Benz. Now you fussing and fighting and arguing with this man because he left his shoe in the walkway, in the house, in the apartment. Now you arguing over every little thing. He on the phone talking to his mama. You start crying because you feel like he put his mama before you. You creating toxicity because you watch toxicity on these reality shows. So now you need your own little bit of drama because your mind has told yourself that this is love, this is a relationship. You're gonna argue. You got to deal with the other woman. And if you got to deal with her, beat the brakes off of her. Drag her. And then tongue kiss your man on Instagram in front of her face. And that's what you out there doing. You competing with another woman for a no good man. Y'all want the prize of a grown boy. Y'all competing for a grown boy. Look slap crazy. Look foolish because you seen this woman on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta get with a man who she been with forever. The man have a baby on her, and then next thing you know, they making TikToks. And I ain't talking about nobody in particular, but I'm just saying this what I know go on these shows. So, and y'all be, oh, he talking about such a, look, I've never watched a single episode. I just know because I ain't dumb. And I done coach people from these reality shows, and they know how I feel about it, but they'll come to me when they need some balance and they ready to change their life. I've never watched an episode of a housewife. I've never watched an episode of a love and a lust and bad music. Love and hip hop, what y'all call it, lust and bad music, what I call it. I have never watched an episode of that. And so when y'all, oh, he talking about such, no, I'm just not under no rock, and I know what go on the shows because I done sat in meetings with the networks, pitching my show or having a show pitched to me, and I already know the foolishness they be on. That's why I'll stay on YouTube. I'll stay on YouTube because I'm too real for what y'all talking about. Y'all trying to destroy the culture. I'm trying to uplift the culture. I'm trying to help people change their life. Y'all trying to destroy lives. Because guess what? When I went to sit down in VH1, I'm sitting across from the people. They not my skin color. They not my skin color. I ain't see now one that was my skin color. They might have them in there now, but a lot of them that's in there, they like the man on Django. You don't watch Django? Well, the Samuel Jackson, the role in Django, the people of color that's in there on these networks, a lot of them like that. They'll sell their own people out. Cause why? Cause they want to feed their family. They trying to feed their family. So it's like, hey, if you got to get on here and look like a coon buffoon, go right ahead, coon buffoon. Cause this is TV. I'm paid. That's all they worrying about. So that's why I can't be in the industry or of the industry unless I could do it my way. But they not trying to do it God way. They ain't trying to uplift nobody's life. That ain't what it's about. It's about destruction. Because it's ran by the adversary. That's why even on these networks right here, like these channels like a YouTube, they still censor you. You still can't say what you want to say because it's ran by somebody else. And even if I talk about Tony Tube, still don't have all the power because it's on Apple. It's on their app store. It's on if you do a podcast, it's still being distributed by a podcast distributor. You don't own that. So until you have ownership that has nobody above you, then you still got to do and try to do what you could do and hope that they don't try to censor you because they fear backlash and outrage and cancel culture. But when you out here and you looking at this stuff ain't out here to better you. The reality TV, this music, this secular music, that stuff ain't to better you. And it's hurting you. It's ruining you. You don't even realize it. It's dictating your relationships. It's dictating your happiness. It's dictating your prosperity. And you don't even realize it. You don't even realize it because for you it's entertainment because of the conundrum and the dullness and the monotony of your life. You're so bored and uninspired because you haven't written your book, because you haven't tapped into your purpose, because you haven't started your business. So you so fed up with your life because you feel like a rat in the maze looking for the cheese, but knowing when you get to the cheese and you go to eat the cheese, the trap gonna snap down on your neck and take your life. So because you know you racing to an untimely demise, you uninspired. When all along God saying, listen, tap into your purpose. Live your purpose. Start your nonprofit organization. Start your company. Start your YouTube channel. Write your book. Become a life coach. Get on mymentor.life. Start helping people from your pain, from your mistakes. Start helping people. I got a young lady who, one of my clients, she was living a life and made a lot of bad choices. And then today somebody wrote in and from my mentor.life, and they say, look, I'm in the exotic dancing industry. I'm in the adult film industry. Do you got somebody that can help me? I was able to respond and say, yep, got somebody. Somebody who can change her life. She ain't go all the way that deep in the industry, but she right next to it. She right around it. She could help you. That's what I mean by purpose. And I was talking to that same client and asking them, you know, what's up with this OnlyFans stuff? And if people posting all these pictures on Instagram for free, if OnlyFans is the same thing, then why they not on there? I ain't never visited the site, you know, and I'm not gonna visit the site because I don't want it tracking and tracing my phone, chasing me. But I'm trying to understand what we doing out here. Where we going? What is this? And my client told me, no, that'll be going backwards. I said, oh, for real? Okay, keep going forward then. If that'll be going backwards, keep going forward then. Keep growing, keep changing life. Uh-oh, I just kicked my stand, y'all forgive me. Keep changing your life. And that's what your purpose is. You done went through some things. You done made some mistakes. If somebody trying to keep you where you at, change. Somebody wants you to stay in a toxic relationship. Somebody want you to keep doing fraud, keep scamming on taxes, keep doing credit card fraud. Somebody wants you to keep stripping, keep sleeping around for money, keep showing your body all online for likes or for money. Somebody wants you to keep doing that, and you want to change your life, and then help somebody else who trying to change their life, who need to change their life. You done been through a toxic relationship, abusive relationship, turn it into purpose. Instead of you upset with your dead end job, so get into a position to help other people. Become a life coach, become a mentor, become a consultant, become an author, become something. It's right there in front of you. So stop complaining and stop making excuses and start making changes. Point blank period. So that way you don't need the clowns in the circus to entertain you. You don't need to watch these nasty videos and listen to this nasty music and watch this immature, ignorant reality TV shows for entertainment. You able to be so inspired with the work that you're doing that you don't need another human being to entertain you. Are you not entertained? It's time to get entertained by your purpose. Change your life. Start doing what you were put here to do. And in order to do that, you first got to recognize what is influencing you. What is influencing you? And you got to do what you do for you. You can't be doing it because somebody else doing it. You can't be doing it because it done seeped in your mind. I remember my sister asking me, she said, Tony, why do you even buy this nice stuff or these nice cars and you don't post it on Instagram? Why do you even buy it? And I had to tell her, because this is for me. This ain't for nobody else. I wear the watches I wear and the clothes I wear and drive what I drive and live how I live for me. I'll be on a private jet and you won't ever know it. I'll be in some foreign and you won't ever know it because I do it for me, not for nobody else. See, we living for other people. And that's why you need this music and these shows for your entertainment, because that entertainment also becomes your inspiration. They teach you how to dress. That's why you see women dressing the way they dress. I done coach so many women, and they'll have me, can you evaluate my picture and tell me what my picture says to you? And I have to say, well, your picture look like you do fraud. Huh? What do you mean? Well, I did get arrested for fraud. I said, well, how did I see that? Who do you follow online? Well, I follow such and such and such and such. I said, well, what she used to do? Well, this one she used to strip. And this one she did some time in the feds for fraud. So I say, so now you see your outfit look just like her outfit. But now who she inspired by? Lil' Kim, Foxy Brown, Cardi B. Who she inspired? See, a lot. That's the same thing on both sides. Like, women look up to the women with the money, and that's the women who in the entertainment industry. But don't realize those women in the entertainment industry 9 out of 10 times is a pawn on the devil chessboard. And so the way they dress is not how you supposed to be dressing in real life. They dress like that for entertainment, because they being used by the adversary to raunchify society, to raunchify minorities. That the minorities who in the hood, who in the ghetto, who broke, busted, and disgusted, they want to warp their mind, keep their mind stuck on. I see right now so many people doing fraud. They doing fraud against the system of America. But instead of doing fraud and climbing out of the ghetto, they doing fraud and going and buying diamond jewelry. Jewelers making more money than they ever made in the history of jeweling, because a bunch of ignorant individuals who have been ignorant because of a lack of resources and a lack of education and a lack of desire to grow and to get better. Thing that went off on my back thing hurt. Because of that, they going and buying diamond jewelry. It's like, listen, if I can't stop you from doing the fraud, yeah, you shouldn't be doing the fraud. That's understood. What's understood shouldn't have to be explained. But I see for some people you got to explain everything. So you shouldn't be doing fraud. Okay, all right, got that out of there. Oh, Tony, you are condoning fraud. No, I don't condone fraud. But if you're gonna do the fraud, don't go buy $100,000 necklace. If you're gonna do the fraud, go open you a laundromat, open you a barbershop, open you a salon, start you a mobile detailing company, start you a lawn service. You're gonna go to jail anyway when they catch you for this SBA loan fraud. But do your couple years, at least you still could come back out to your lawnmower and your F-150 and your trailer and get back to your lawn service. What is gonna do for you when they come and take all the jewelry and the purses and the bags and the cars that you done bought when you go to do your year in 2 years in the feds for that SBA fraud? What is that gonna do for you? But if you started you a barbershop, you at least come back and now your barber still paying you weekly. You see what I'm saying? So that's what this music and TV is for. To keep the ignorant ignorant. To keep the people that's at the bottom at the bottom. We don't want to. It's modern day slavery. So in slave times, they didn't want you to read, because reading was the key to your freedom. If you read, then you could read that the Constitution said some stuff that say all men are created equal. If you know how to read, then you could take that up to the court and fight for your freedom. Eventually somebody did that, and that's how we got out of slavery. But they didn't want that to happen. That's why they tried to keep that knowledge from. Oh, you trying to read? Ah, come on. Put the whip. Ah, you trying to read? So now today, listen, we don't want you to read. We don't want you to think. We give you this music. Just twerk. Twerk. Keep twerking. We're finna have a $10,000 twerk contest. Keep twerking. Hey, get your old school. Hey, get you some jewelry. So all the rappers got all the cars and all the jewelry. So everybody in the hood, they want cars and jewelry, because the rappers not taking us to their property. They showing you, oh, I got $1 million worth of jewelry. I got $500,000 worth of jewelry. Show me a $500,000 worth of houses you own in a black neighborhood. I bought a house in a black neighborhood for $45,000. So that means if you got a $500,000 worth of jewelry on, that means you could have 10 houses in that predominantly black neighborhood. Take me to your houses. Show me your house so that when the people in the hood get a little bit of money, because some of them got a legal SBA loan. I know a lot of people got a legal SBA loan. You ain't supposed to use it to go buy you no property, but people gonna spend it how they want to spend it anyway. But if they seen the influencers showing them the properties they own, showing them the stocks they done invested in, showing them retirement accounts they done started. Now these people, instead of going to the jeweler, they'll be going to the real estate agent to buy some property. So see, you got to realize who influencing you and why they influencing you and how they're influencing you. And when you really pay attention to it, you're going to realize how you influence. I'm influenced. Even I'm influenced. But I'm in a position that I can afford my influences. See, that's the thing. You got to get to where you can afford your influences. So right now on this here TV, if I can show it to you. Let me see if you can see it. You see it on that TV? It's old school car meets. You're looking at car meets. That's car meets up there. So, but guess what? Guess what? I got investments. I got savings. I got steady income. So I could afford me an old school. But and that's what my wife, I said, babe, why you ain't let me get no old school? She said, because you was trying to get an old school for $20,000 and that'd have been every dime to our name. She was like, I'm okay with it now because it's not going to put us in the poor house. So you could get your old school now. You see what I'm saying? So you have to get to the place to where you got to do what you need to do first. Get your purpose going. Get your business going. Before you start worrying about all this other stuff, it's like women get them some money. The first thing they do, it's like for the amount of money that you spent to get that tummy tuck, to get that breast implant, to get that booty lift, Brazilian butt lift, you could have put down on your first investment property. You put 10K down. You put 10K down. That's the down payment on a $50,000 house. Investment property, because they want you to put down 20%. You could have got your first investment property that could have been paying you for that 10K down. Some people spending 20, 30, 40K out their loan money, or they build a credit up, get an 800 credit score, and go get $100,000 in credit cards and go get their body done. You could have took that money off that credit card and you could have got you an investment property. You see what I'm saying? But what's your influences? See, your influences is big fake booties and tummy tucks on lust and bad music and house girlfriends. And so because that's all you watching, and then you listening to artists who so many of them got fake booties and tummy tucks and implants, that when you get your little bit of money, you get your tax return, you going to doctor such and such, doctor such and such. When you could have went down, when you could have took that tax return money and you could have maxed out your IRA for the year, your Roth IRA that let you put $6,000 a year. And that thing will show you, go get you a compound calculator. Get you a compound calculator. Google compound interest calculator and pull it up. And then what you're going to do is you put your initial investment, $1,000. And then it'll say, what's your monthly investment? You put $500. And then you put the interest rate, put 10%. And then it'll say how many years you're going to keep it in there. You put 30 years. Put 30 years or 20 years. And then you hit enter and it's going to show you how much you putting $500 a month on the market, not into a stock, but into your investment account, your retirement account that is diversified amongst stocks and bonds. You could go right on betterment.com, just how it's betterment, M-E-N-T, betterment.com, robo investor, create a retirement account or create a Roth IRA and just put money in there monthly. You could have been doing that and turn yourself into a millionaire. But instead, you worrying about a tummy tuck, you worrying about a booty lift, you worrying about a breast implant, these men, you worrying about an old school, you worrying about some jewelry. See, I want me a diamond necklace. I want me a diamond Cuban chain. I ain't bought me one yet. I want to buy me one. You know why I don't want to buy me one? Because that's come from my influences. But guess what? When I was influenced, it was illegal money. So guess what I did? I went to get illegal money. I was in the streets hustling. Now it changed my life. I still like jewelry. But now If I want to give me some jewelry, I could buy it with legal money. But you know what? I ain't gonna buy the jewelry before I got my savings and my investments. I ain't gonna buy the jewelry before all my bills paid, before my kids could be in the best school, in their best situation. I ain't gonna go get the jewelry in the old school. And that's what I'm telling you. Your influences is keeping you broke. Your influences is keeping you behind the 8 ball. Your influences got the cart before the horse. And you're not paying attention to your influences and who you watching and why you watching them. And that's what you got to realize. It ain't just entertainment. Hey, this Tony Gasson. Spirit just left me. God bless you. We'll talk soon. Oh, my camera up here today.